Anxiety and avoidance. Someone has strong social anxiety and avoids gathering. Avoidance creates a problem. They lose opportunities and relationships due to that avoidance. But avoidance also provides an immediate benefit, relief from anxiety. That relief reinforces the avoidance. So the person genuinely wants confidence while simultaneously receive short-term relief from staying away. So these were some example of this topic. Here is the practical application. When you are repeatedly unable to change something, don't only ask why can't I stop this. Ask more uncomfortable but powerful question. What am I getting from keeping this pattern? Maybe it is the safety, maybe it is attention, certainty, sympathy, belonging, avoidance of responsibility, protection from failure, temporarily emotional relief. This question should be asked with curiosity, not accusation. So, very important thin line. Secondary gain should never be used to dismiss genuine suffering. For example, if someone has depression, anxiety, chronic pain, or any another health condition, saying you are keeping this because you like the attention would be both simplistic and potentially harmful. A person can genuinely suffer from something while certain consequences of that problem also reinforce the particular behavior. So both can exist simultaneously. Now let me give you one counselor's perspective. Imagine client says, I want to stop people pleasing. Instead of only teaching assertiveness, a counselor might explore what does people pleasing protect you from? The answer might be conflict. Your client might answer conflict. So, being a counselor, you need to go deeper. Ask what feels dangerous about conflict. Client may say, perhaps I'm afraid people will leave me. So, now we have discovered something important. The behavior is not simply people pleasing, it may be people pleasing leads to avoid rejections, leads to feel temporarily safe. So, if you remove the behavior without understanding its function, another behavior may replace it. So, the formula is unhealthy pattern, then immediate hidden benefit, and then behavior gets reinforced, and then long term cost. Therefore, sustainable change often requires identify the benefit, find the healthier way to meet that need, and then change the behavior. So, here is the golden line. Before trying to remove a behavior, understand what that behavior is doing for that person. So, this is the topic of the day, secondary gain. When a problem is painful but also giving you something. Now floor is open for any kind of question, sharing and discussion on this topic.
Good morning, sir, and good morning, everyone.
Hi, good morning.
I'm trying to understand this topic, and broadly, I think I understand it, but I'll try and give an example, and you can correct me if I'm talking the relevant example or not. I'm a little confused on something. So, if I take my own life, for example, the last time I was in a relationship and got out of it was in 2009 or 10. And until 24, when I met my partner, and if he was not insistent enough or persistent enough, I don't think I would have entertained another relationship. So 15 years, a lot of people approached, a lot of people proposed, and I kept staying in the clear. No, not. But at the same time, was I missing the element of having somebody in my life? Yes, I was. Was I feeling the element of loneliness? Yes, I was. Did it hurt me that I would come back from work and there was nobody to look up to, nobody to talk to, nobody to ask me how my day was? Yes, it hurt. But the fear or the risk of getting into a relationship seemed too high. to invest in. So I would make peace with not having anyone. In fact, I, for the longest time, have had pet dogs. And I made peace with that, that this is a safer version. This I can deal with. But that I cannot deal with. So, is this would this apply as an example for a secondary gain? That yes, there is pain point, but for fear of not indulging and getting into some kind of random situation, I would rather deal with this pain. Is it a relevant example? I'm not sure.
Why you're not sure?
Because what is the gain? What is the secondary gain? I'm not able to explain that.
Okay. So what is a secondary gain? When somebody, when someone not willing to get into the relationship, why? What can be the reasons? What is the discomfort? What are the problematic thoughts? What they are avoiding by not getting into relationship?
Hmm.
So what is that?
Fear that it'll hamper my career path, my journey, my growth. That I'll get distracted. That I'll get invested in, domestic life maybe, and that will obviously take me away from the ambitious goal I set for myself. That was one. Two, I would hear a lot of narratives from a lot of my friends from college years or school years. I would hear their stories of their relationships. Most of them are married. And I didn't like what I was hearing because, eventually once you get married, then there is that pressure to have children. And then obviously it means a setback to the career. So ultimately, it still becomes about the career. And to me, that was always my primary goal.
Or also maybe fear of losing freedom,
Yes.
right? So yes, that was a secondary gain. That's why we're not getting into relationship, because you were thinking that the cost of staying without relationship is much lesser than the cost of getting into the relationship. So
Right.
we take decision according to our understanding,
Hmm. Okay.
right? Is it helping you to reflect or getting the answer of your question?
Yes. Yes. But that I substituted a relationship with having a pet dog. Is is that a compensation that I created?
Yes, you were trying to find out different ways to meet your need,
Okay.
which is, I mean, you thought for the healthy way and you did it. So
Okay.
yeah.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you, Pragyaji, for sharing and asking this question to clear your confusion and also giving other people the perspective to understand this topic. Yes, Amelia, Christine.
Uh, Good morning, sir, and good morning, everyone. I have a doubt. Today's topic and trauma bonding is somewhere similar, sir.
Today's topic and trauma.
Bonding.
No, they are not similar.
Because there is a secondary thing is involved in that. Because that person is suffering in the relationship, still that person will continue in the relationship, knowing that there might be some benefit being in that relationship, but still there are a lot of toxicity and abusiveness. Everything is in the relationship, but still some people will still continue to be in that relationship. So that's the reason I just asked the question. So thank you, sir.
Yes. Both things can be there. That secondary gain can also be there, but that problem can also be there. Both things can exist together. Yes, Mr. Bhargav.
Yeah, it's secondary gain. In major cases or most of cases would be unconscious decision, where people is not aware with that they are gaining something by avoiding some work or task. That will be unconscious decision. So how can we uh, make a person with awareness or consciousness create the consciousness that he is getting something which he actually not realize that is a game.
Okay, so Mr. Bhargav's question is, people might not be aware about this secondary gain. It might be unconscious, right? So, what to do in that case? How to help that person in that situation? This question is
Right.
open for everyone. Anybody would like to try?
I think you just gave an example of that by questioning the why of what I was doing.
Right, very true. So, Pragyaji is saying that ask question, help them to get aware about it, about the secondary gain by asking questions or helping them to reflect. Okay, very good. Anybody else would like to add on or share on this?
Good good morning, everyone. Um, I have noticed many a times in order to subside the pain, many people in my known friendship circle also, they go to lot of parties, social networking, and enjoy dancing and doing some things which actually substitute their vacuum with all these activities. And this is one of the way which I have noticed. But to be very honest, I am not very able to. I'm not very clear with the today's topic. I'm just trying to perceive it, thinking about. So this is what I want to say to you.
Okay, okay. So maybe others' insights will help you understand it more.
Yes.
Yes. Anybody would like to share something or help everybody to reflect more on it? Please go ahead, unmute yourself, ask, speak, or share something.
So, just a question. There is a concept in psychology. I'm missing the name right now, where you can hold two opposing thoughts or two opposing realities at the same time. What is the term for that?
I cannot recall.
Yeah, I know there is a term. I just can't place it right now. To hold two opposing thoughts at the same time. Anybody in the group who could remember this? No. Okay.
Okay, Gauriji, if you are speaking something, you are on mute.
Very good morning. So, there was something that I have an example of, but I don't, it's not really articulated or clear. But there are many a times that you hear women talk of a certain trauma that they have been going repeatedly. Like, I was very controlled, in a situation where you were married and you wanted to get out of it, but you could not. You were like financially dependent, or you had, a family to look after. Now, even when you that is one situation, but if you ask them with another situation that they were in, are they still comfortable? Okay, I'm out of that, I'm better, but I am still, not myself. So, the thing is that if you're not yourself and you're not getting out of a situation, out of a control, say, of a male, if you say that, I've been controlled by men, or this is the way I have been held back. So, obviously, you are still in a situation where you learned from. In a previous situation, you learned I should not be in this situation. It took you time to come out of it. But then again, if you are in a situation similar to that, and you're still not able to get out of the second situation as well, now, there is something that you need to ask, why am I still being in this situation? Obviously, the first situation gave you a comfort of a family, of the finances. You're out in the second situation and you think you have, moved on, and you are facing some of the same situations. Now, that is not always karma, that you have to go through a cycle of suffering because that was written for you. It is also you're accepting it. And if you're accepting it, there has to be a reasonable reason what that situation, what comfort is it providing you?
Okay, so you are saying that people generally sustain the same problem repeatedly because unconsciously they are accepting the secondary gains.
True.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you so much for giving this example. Anyone else? If anybody want to ask question, please ask it.
Yeah. So if a client has that, it is easy to probe into why and help them see if you are doing this, what is it that you're gaining and all that. What if this happens within a family member and then the pattern repeats? And then as you said, we should not be saying that you are doing this because you like to gain attention, but exactly that is the case. So and but then in real life with clients, it's kind of easy to maintain that professionalism and and ask. But what if it is happening with family members? This is a challenging thing for me, actually. It happens, and as you rightly said, they're unconscious about it. So you cannot treat them like your client. At the same time, you have to also make them aware that what you're doing is something that if you start counting your blessings, and you might just stop complaining. This is what your communication should be going out. So how do you not deal in a way that is very natural, and not to act like a professional, because we are not a counselor. Definitely you say every house needs a counselor, but they don't understand, right? And then they would feel that you're talking from that higher sense, which we are not getting just because you studied counseling. All that sorts of all those things come that what do you say, that what is that judgment, it comes, and then you kind of take a step back. So you leave them at it, maintain, protect your peace, or how do you do that? So I would need a help here actually,
Very nice.
from
Very nice.
anybody. Yeah.
So Melinda is saying sometimes it is easy. It is easy for the clients when we do it for the clients to get them aware with the secondary gains, but it is not easy with the family members. Now, first question is why it is not easy with them. Why it is not easy with them?
So, for the simple reason that it causes a lot of discomfort, and like I know somebody within my close family network, this guy, he has let go of his or parted ways with his wife for the simple reason that the wife and the in-laws couldn't get along. So he's like practically broken the relationship to continue staying with the parents, even though he is in absolute control of the parents. No financial independence, everything and anything is done by the parents. But he's become so dependent on that he sees the damage that is happening, but chooses to continue with it. And the moment you question him or try to probe into why that dependency, why would you let go of your family for this? The kind of reactions that happen are not very pleasant, because it makes him question things himself. I don't know if he's how aware he is, but it he will lash out. He would, Valinda ma'am just now said, count your blessings. That those are the kind of phrases that are thrown around. You don't understand because you're not counting the blessings, or you don't appreciate what is being done for you, and I have that appreciation. So that's the way it is turned around. That's my experience.
Thank you, Pragyaji, for sharing and adding on to this point. Simple answer to this is, let me give you one bitter truth. We judge more to our people. We are very much judgmental for our people, and we just directly want to reach to the conclusion. We do not want to be patient enough to look curious in their problem, want to have patiently, we want to listen to them. We need to because we are also not comfortable. We have not done this before. Nobody has taught us like this, right? So what we need to do is we need to make it easy. How we can make it easy? With our family members, with curiosity, with love, and with permission. Many times we do not take permission, we start saying anything to our family members. Take permission. I am curious and I really want to ask something. Can I ask? May I ask? And then one by one start asking questions. Let them aware that yes, they are into this, they are into secondary gain. Let them realize by themselves. It will be hard, little bit hard for you only. So, but it will happen. If you will try, it will happen.